Let's get started with, I think the Vanguard should be a good place to start. Mr. Ambrose Igbokwe is a member, is a journalist. He joins us virtually on the program today. Mr. Ambrose, thank you so much for coming on the program. He's also the chairman of Guild of Public Affairs Analysts in Enugu State Chapter. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you. Good morning, everybody in the studio.
All right, let's get started with the Vanguard newspaper. Police orderly withdrawal. Senators kick. Tinubu insists. Senators allege daughters, sons of political office holders have police orderly security cover. Tinubu orders comprehensive enforcement. Directs NSA to ensure forest guards are armed. Tells the vice president, that's the VP, to liaise with states or ranches. Mr. Igbokwe.
This issue of police withdrawal from VIP has become a sing-song and a national anthem for almost all the IGPs that have come in this Fourth Republic. For over 25 years, we keep hearing the same story. And because the police does not even have the capacity to monitor his own instructions or directive, most of the time it's not complied with. The commissioners in the state, commissioners of police in their state will do what they want to do. The zonal man, the AIG will do what he wants to do or she wants to do. When you come down to the state level, the commissioner, the area commands, down to the DPO. So sometimes the special forces also, have their own. But it has become a laughing stock of our police professionalism, where policemen even go around carrying, if it was even restricted to policing, providing security for VIPs, then we could say, okay, let's look at it professionally. But the police are doing all kinds of unprofessional things, carrying handbags for women during parties, carrying bags for men, going on errands as houseboys and housegirls. Acting as gatemen in some houses of the VIP, opening gates and opening doors, all kinds of things that are not tied to security. So it has become a laughing stock. I remember when growing up in the western part of Nigeria, when you hear Olopa, which is police, it was as if we were seeing a dreaded movie because they were not seen easily. But nowadays they're everywhere, So it demeans the respect of the profession. And I hope that, these things will be defined properly because stopping VIPs on the road and all the Gestapo style that we do things in Nigeria, they are not the ways to do it. Technology is more, security is more technology driven now than physically driven. Though the physical deterrent is important, but let's restrict it. Let's use technology. Why are people going around with police? Because they are afraid of being hurt, because they are afraid of being kidnapped, they are afraid of being brutalized. Even now, this is December time, a lot of people are going home, and the police will render services. I remember I mentioned this, they pay for these services. So it's an extra income too for the police force. So it's still difficult. It still remains difficult how this thing will be implemented because it has become a norm and a culture in our system.
Let's get to the Guardian newspaper. We've, perhaps exhausted as much as possible the VIP protection story. The Guardian newspaper is causing us to reflect on what is shaping Nigeria's festive season now, and that's increasing prices of ticket fares for air travel. 54 taxes charges account for 35% of airfare cost, stifle traffic demand. And you see there, flying gets expensive. The graphic illustration of the story, from flight booking, 15.7 million passengers. The 54 taxes and fees are spread across 4 major government agencies: NCAA, FAN, NAMA, and the Federal Inland Revenue Service. So according to this exclusive to The Guardian, the cost is passed down to the passengers. And that's quite telling about, why airlines increase ticket fares. But Dr. Igbokwe, how should we be viewing this, and who should we be directing this to? Because there's an increasing call, on the Minister of Aviation to do something about increasing ticket fares.
Though Nigeria our economy is based on capitalism, but capitalism also has regulations and control in fact of fair competition, in terms of pricing, and in terms of economic regulations that make sure that does not affect your people, your citizens. That is capitalism. But Nigerian capitalism, has introduced unfettered kinds of indiscrepancies for businessmen who flout all kinds of rules of competition, rules of fair bargaining, rules of fair pricing, and just go berserk in all kinds of things in this country. There's no control anymore. It is paradoxical that in other climes, especially in the West, when you're having Christmas like this, they actually introduce kinds of discounts to encourage people to move around, to encourage people to travel. But in the other, paradoxically, Nigeria, during the festivity, we hike our own price. And I can't keep wondering what is running our gene. I mean, what is running our DNA? How do we behave, to the left always, and behave without concern for our fellow citizens? Now, it's the same aviation fuel you are going to use. It's the same cabin crew. You didn't increase the salary of your cabin crew or pilots or whatever. You are still using the same office. Your costs have not increased. But because it is season and you saw a quantum leap of statistics of passengers, you begin to increase your fare arbitrarily. Because I don't see anywhere in the world where a less than 1 hour flight costs more than $300. We are seeing like $320, $350 for one-way flights. So by the time you are doing a two-way flight, you are having like $500 and $550 with 2 hour flight to and fro. The federal government should do, because what this have been happening, that there were no consequences for people who do it. Over the years, people keep on doing, even the buses, even the airfares. Let's people talk about the buses. We keep doing it. I know there are no consequences. But when we step in, then we can begin to have these things. Because some people are doing a comparative analysis from the flight from Abuja, for example, to the north, to Yola, to Kano, to other places. And then you compare which is longer. And then you compare flight to Abuja to Enugu, for example. The prices of a flight from Abuja to Enugu is far higher than what you are paying for a longer flight. So this underscores also the meaning of what is brotherhood, what is fraternal, affiliations. If your own brothers are, hiking prices, making sure that you pay more, afflicting you from your money, something needs to be done. The aviation minister has to step in. The Federal Price Competition Commission, if we still have it, have to step in, and there has to be some sort of regulation, because this is pure madness.
Well, let's take a look at Leadership newspaper. Another, I don't know if it's a shocker for a lot of Nigerians. You see, petrol imports rose to 52.1 million liters per day in November, says regulator. That's in spite of the fact that we have the Dangote refinery that is exporting its petrol. So yet another interesting scenario here. The Minister of Aviation, I should say, has said that about the aviation prices that, they can't wade into it because it's a fully deregulated sector. So for the oil and gas industry as well, you hear that, it's fully deregulated. So people can choose to either import, buy from local or whatever. But what do you make of this, Mr. Ibuke?
Well, some of these things are just mere excuses by the regulators because they are weak, or maybe they are compromised to, wave away some certain infractions in the business ethics of some of these sectors. If even we are not more deregulated or even capitalized than maybe the United States of America, yet these things are placed, regulations are, especially the corporations are watched to ensure that the citizens are not manipulated. But here we allow our citizens manipulated by these businesses. And the funny thing is, our government make excuses for them, for the people who are manipulating us. Look at the aviation and saying that my petroleum minister or anybody says it's a pull effect. Didn't we cap the prices? Didn't we try to regulate even the prices? No country survives that. We remove subsidy and yet refuse to regulate. It's also paradoxical, economic voodooism, that the private refinery we have here, with the domestic refinery we have here, is exporting refined products. On the other hand, we are importing refined products. Somebody needs to come to study Nigeria's economy, because it defies some basic economic principles. You are talking about the push and pull effect, and you are proud to be saying it as a minister that you are importing refined products. We are the only OPEC nation that is importing refined products. And we shouldn't be, I don't know how we say these things shamelessly before the international community. These are the things that make us make them not take us seriously, because we cannot even manage natural resources that God has given to us. We are importing from other countries. It's a sad reality of our economic existence, and the federal government should still bow its head in shame for not being able to refine our domestic need of refined products in the country.
Ms. Ambrose Igboke, well said. We hope that the regulators are listening and will wake up to our responsibilities as a nation. Must thank you so much for coming on the program. Mr. Ambrose Igboke is the chairman of the Guild of Public Affairs Analysts, Enugu State, joining us virtually from Enugu. Thank you, sir, for coming on the program.
Thank you all for having me on the show. Good morning.
We'll take a break. Now, when we come back, we'll switch gears to party politics. The PDP is going to be in focus in just a moment. Stay with us.